everyone, and welcome to another Tea Talks. I am Jes'ka Washington, and we are going to spend today really talking about moving and packing and what to prepare yourself when you're coming to Dubai. It's going to be a great conversation, I already know. And I want to go ahead and introduce my guest today.
I'm Rita Monagan, and I'm from Washington, D.C.
I'm Galemarie, and I'm from New York.
So, in what area in New York?
Queens.
Go ahead, Queens.
Yes.
So we're just going to go ahead and just dive right into it. So a lot of times, and I don't know if you're a member of Black Educators in Dubai, but we always get that question, hey, I'm coming to the UAE,
Yes.
What should I pack? So let's just start with that question. Like, when you guys first came, what was it really priority for you to say that, hey, I wanted to pack?
So for me, I wanted to pack light. I wanted to pack light because when you get to the airport and your suitcases are over, you're going to have to get rid of some things. It's going to really humble you. So I tried to really focus on a few key things. Now, I have a little bit of advantage coming here because I was in Kuwait first, so I kind of knew what was going to be missing out here and what probably I could find out here. So my main things were my toiletries, my cosmetics.
Yes.
And also like my seasonings and my spices.
Yes.
That's really important because you're gonna get tired of having that Arabic flavor, and you're gonna want to have something that is from back home. The other thing was basically my feminine products.
Yes.
And finally, I would say that I try to bring a piece of home with me to kind of make my home feel like a home, like pictures, a blanket, just things that I had around my apartment when I was living in the U.S. that would make me feel like at home here in Dubai.
And I'm glad you said that, because the blanket, and one of the things that I didn't do this time around, but photo blanket. You can turn around and put like a bunch of pictures just on the blanket, and then that's an interesting way to turn around and have that with you. Like, you have to really kind of get creative in that piece of what really makes or means something to you. And so you kind of look at that, because I like that idea of what you said was bringing something home to make you remember. What about you? What did you really?
Well, what I've learned is I packed the same things that you packed. And in Washington, D.C., we have a sauce called mambo sauce.
Baby.
And so I would say, when you're coming, bring all of your creature comforts from home, because they're not going to be here. And even things like garlic and basil is different here than it is back home. Like, you're not going to find your Lari blends, you're not going to find all your McCormick blends. So I would say pack all of your dry herbs, and even some of the sauces, like the lemon dill sauce from McCormick has. Bring those type of things. And the way I packed it was I put it in Ziploc bags so it wasn't glass, it wouldn't break. Then I will also say pack your patience, because coming here is totally different than at home, and you have to make sure that you are going to be happy with the culture difference here, with the way that the apartment looks, be acclimated to, I think you had spoken before, the switching off and on for the hot water, which I did not realize. I've done that several times. And then also, I think it's also important to bring, like you said, your toiletries, but things from home, and don't pack a lot of clothes, because I packed entirely too many clothes, because there are a lot of malls here, and a lot of the stores at home are here, so you can find some of those things here as well.
All right, well, let's go ahead and just dig into this real quick, because you talked about their seasonings, you talked about seasonings, and I want to sit here and tell you, Jiffy Cornbread mix.
Okay.
That one was hard. I could not find I made my mom come and bring some Jiffy Cornbread mix, because you just get into those moments. Lari seasoning. What other things food-wise have you got hit with?
Grits.
Grits.
I really love grits, so I made sure to have those with me, and I actually had my family send me some grits recently because I had ran out. Old Bay seasoning was really important for my seafood, especially. What else? Some Creole seasoning was really important.
Somebody was doing something. I forgot. Like, somebody was making banana pudding, and they couldn't find like vanilla wafers or something like that. It's a lot of little stuff that just
the gluten-free things for me, because I can't do gluten, and I couldn't find a lot of gluten-free things. So I found myself having to reinvent the things. Like, I had to find a recipe for the cornbread, but when I found, I said, wait, is that a box of Jiffy? Let me get 2 or 3 of them.
Well, and then you have to find, like, so it's down the street from me, Organic Mart. They have it, like, they have specialty stores that have those things, but you don't know that when you're first coming out. And so you're right, like those little pieces of things, because I did not bring seasonings. And then when I went home, I came back, I got 2 big seasoning jars, because it was like I needed that seasoning salt. Like, you cannot find seasoning salt.
And then you would think like things like, I don't eat any meat, so I had, you know, shrimp bouillon. I thought, okay, they'll find bouillon here, but I could not find shrimp.
That was another one. I couldn't find cream of mushroom. Like just the cream of in order to make a meal or whatever. And it's very hard. I finally found, after like 2 years searching, like vegetable stock.
Okay.
That was like you can find chicken, but I couldn't find vegetable stock. I found the powder, and it's a lot of powders, like, so you can mix it on your own, but not it already pre-made.
And then the thing for me, I do a lot of vegan type meals, like Morningstar back at home. Who would think that you're not going to find Morningstar products here? And so when you do find them at the stores, like I found at the Lulu Markets, which is one of the stores here, I'll buy 10 of them, because if I come back next week, they're gone.
They're gone.
So you have to really think about the things that you have at home are not going to be here. There's no Target here. There's no Walmart. There's no Sally's Beauty Salon.
No, there is not. Which is your next conversation.
Yes.
So we're gonna stop here. So black women, I was a naturalista, like, what is that when you hoard it, and like I had
Product junkie.
I was a product junkie, and I had like Miss Jessie's Curl. In fact, not Miss Jessie's Curl's here, but there's another one that's here. Jessie Curl is here, and
Cantu is here.
Cantu is here. But if you're a product junkie and you're like, no, I'm all natural, there's no alcohol, like it's aloe vera, that is not out here. Like my hair salon, and I love my hair salon. I love who I go to, but baby, they coming out with the blue magic grease. And it's like the 2 fingers. You going back old school.
It's true.
No pressing coming. You can find a flat iron in the store.
You can't.
You're not gonna find a pressing comb. So just think.
You're not gonna find the hair dryer bag.
No.
We went on a major, like trying to get our hair steamed. We could not find the bag hair dryer. There are so many little things. Like I had a little steamer for your hair at one point. Nope. And I'm gonna say, even with some of those, you have to be careful, because those are different outages. So even if you do try to pack it, it's no guarantee that it's gonna work, because they might not. You have to have that surge protector.
I was gonna say, like, we can get back to the beauty supply, but also bring a step down converter, because that is going to help you charge different things that have outlets that are American, and also use your hair appliances. Because I bought a flat iron here with me, couldn't plug it into the wall. Definitely had to have my step down converter.
And then I'm going to sit here and say, and I think this question comes a lot, there's a lot of people who are trying to buy the correct converters before you come. You don't have to unless you have something specific. I bought a very expensive converter that I get here, and literally for $2 US they got converters. Converters, adapters, converters. So I would say, honestly, don't go through that unless you have something that's specific. But to turn around and know that there's converters out here, there's different plugs.
And then I think what's also important is if you're on medications at home. Make sure that you check in to see that the medication that you have at home is applicable to something that's here. Like for high blood pressure medications. The ones that I had at home, because I have high blood pressure, are not necessarily here. So you have to really make sure that when you're coming, that there's an equivalent to that. Asthma is big here. At home they have Pro Air. Here they only have like Ventolin and some pharmacies. So just making sure that you can take care of yourself medically. And when you come, I think someone else shared this with me before I came, have yourself a care package. Bring a set of sheets, bring some toilet paper, bring some hand wipes, because those things are not going to be necessarily in the place that you're living. And I will also ask, if they provide you accommodations, ask them what size your mattress is, because the mattresses here are different than the ones at home. And so just make sure you have those things.
And I'll say this, don't be frustrated with what they tell you, because they're going to probably come back and tell you like 180 centimeters by 7, and you're going to be like, is it a king, queen?
No.
It's just
you have to know the metric system. Here's the metric system.
It's not. You just have to know and start learning measurements and different things, because to this day I still try to go and be like, I have a queen size sheet, and they be like, and I literally have to take a picture of my mattress tag with the number so I can match it up to which sheet I'm going to get, because I have too many times bought the wrong type of sheets and all of that. So that part is crazy. So we talked a little bit about the food and the seasonings, and we talked about the hair, because it is important. And then I would also say, for fellas, your barbershops are limited, so you really spend time to try to come out here and have to figure it out. So I would say just get into the group, because by now most of us know where to go. But it's going to be a trip. It is no longer I can just go down the street and let you make your own.
No.
It's a trip. You have to find somebody and know them and do all of those things. But getting to the pack where you're packing, and I think a lot of people ask as teachers, there's school supplies out here. You do not have to spend that time or that space trying to pack up construction paper or anything else. The biggest one I was told about before is Sharpies, because I have a Sharpie addiction. And there's Sharpies out here, but it's not the quality. So if you are a Sharpie person, you might want to bring some Sharpies.
Dry erase markers are important. They don't have the same quality here, and all the different colors and whatnot.
And the correct tape, not the correct ink. You know, the whiteout. They didn't have like the little machines that we had back home that can be slide over, so I bought a ton of those when I came.
Don't get caught up. I forgot about this one because I got hit. I was really big with like pre-hole punches and stuff like that. There's no 3-hole punches out here. There are 2-hole punches. So anything that's a 3-ring binder, let it go. Let it go. Do not bring it.
And the paper is different here anyway. The paper sizes are not necessarily. They have what, A7 and all these other different.
Yeah, I've already had that whole argument about manila folders.
Yeah,
manila folder life has changed and all of that. So getting to the airport, because we talked about those things a little bit, and clothing. You said I'm going to sit here and say like it's the same. You can get whatever clothing that you want to. You're going to wash it differently. It's not durable. Like, it is hot. You're going to sweat.
It's another word beyond hot.
It's an oven. It's
it's like, I have a favorite dress that I have not put on because it's hot. But don't think it's so hot like you're not, because I have worn sweatshirts in the wintertime because it can get cool at night. But you don't have to bring those out. There's enough places to turn around and buy them, so you're not wasting that space. But when we get to the airport, let's say if you pack up to the airport, what do you have to be cautious about?
Like she was saying, because most accommodation they'll give you two bags. So I bought 4 bags with me, so I had to pay the extra. But had I known now that I didn't have to bring as many clothes, I didn't have to bring as many shoes, I bought a whole luggage full of seasoning. I did bring some things that I thought I would need in the classroom that I wish I had maybe just put on a flash drive versus bringing the actual document, because with the curriculum here, which is Common Core, a lot of those things are accessible online. But when I got to the airport, I realized that I had overpacked, and I had to move some things around. I had to pay the overage fee, and then what else I would also do is make sure I shrink wrapped my luggage, because unfortunately when I got here, some things were taken out of my luggage. And so I wish that I had shrink wrapped it. But when I got here, the flights were okay, the food was okay. Get ready for that long flight across the water. Pack something warm for the flight itself, because I'm cold by nature, but the temperature on the airplane, if it's cold on the airplane, who wants to be cold for 10 hours? So I would say definitely, dress in layers for the airport, and especially now, with COVID, just make sure you're dressing in layers and bringing all your protective gear with you.
And I want to touch base real quick. I'm going to let you go, because you said that your luggage was gone through, and that's customs. That's not, somebody was in there like, hey.
Exactly.
No, that's just, it's very natural for them to go through your luggage. It's very natural for them to do those things. And as I say natural, I'm going to get to you. You're going to want, if you're very natural, you want to bring those supplements. Like I have sea moss. I cannot find sea moss anywhere here. Those are those things. And then there are certain brands. I really like Lip Bar. I wanted to try so bad the honey pot, girl. So I have called somebody home like, bring me some honey pot so I can come to, because like those little brands that you are typically supporting, they're not going to be here. And so you're going to have to stock up on those things to get you through a year or whatever. What were you about to say?
I was going to say, for your carry-on, they do weigh your carry-on bag. At some different airlines will weigh your carry-on bag. So make sure that you find those requirements and stick to it.
Typically it's 30. I thought it was 50. Then they told me it was 30 pounds. So really make sure when you call, when you have that you double check what the actual luggage weight is.
Exactly. And the other thing I would say for the flight, you do need some noise canceling headphones.
Yes.
Because kids will be yelling and all those other types of things. There was a trick somebody taught me to bring like a little bit of essential oil and put it in a scarf, because there's going to be different smells on the airplane.
Yes.
It's a very long trip.
Yes.
Put a little essential oil, wrap your head, wrap it around your head, and you're good to go.
That is a good.
Speaking of, when we talk about natural, I brought my essential oils. I had not found anything at the quality that I was used to in the States. So I came back and brought my essential oils. And then I brought, I'm black, a block of shea butter.
A block.
I looked like it was keys. I remember looking at like I was like, I hope they know what shea butter is, because it looked like I looked like I was a Breaking Bad. But I did that because I love shea butter. I don't use it as much. I don't use it that much anymore. But the only place you can find shea butter is at Global Village. And they open in October.
Yeah, it's not all year.
Yeah, it's not all year. So that one was a big one for me. And then when we talked about the luggage, what I did not recognize is that I overpacked, and I actually budgeted to overpack. So I was like, okay, because it was I can't fly it out there, so I budgeted. What I did not budget, and what made me mad, is that I was so busy trying to be like quality control. So I had like my big suitcase that I budgeted for, and then I had a smaller carry-on, and they both cost the same.
Right.
And so I was like, if I had known that little one would have gone, or whatever. Like, when you pay overage, it's just overage. So if you're gonna pay the overage amount, go for the biggest bag and just get all the other stuff that you need. Because once you pay that set amount, it's done. It's that.
You're not gonna negotiate if you won't pay.
Another thing I wish I had done, when you're getting off the plane, have some actual cash on you,
Baby.
because if you're not knowing the amount that's going to the conversion charge for your card in the airport, it's high, like in all airports, the cost is high for the conversion. But have some cash on hand with you when you're going to buy some things, because depending if you fly in at night, fly in the morning, you're not going to have any things to eat in your refrigerator in the flat that you're going to be in. So just bring the actual cash. And it's also good because you're not sure when you're going to get paid at your school. So just have some reserve money with you to hold you over until you're going to get paid.
And the only thing is, I'll disagree with you slightly on some things. And the thing is, it's like, because when you say cash, I know we're thinking, oh, okay, I'm gonna have American cash, and I'm gonna say no. Have your credit card, have your debit card, and pull the cash out, because you actually get a better conversion rate.
Yes.
And so pull out and have your credit card ready. Credit card is fine, no problem here.
Right.
You just will get the international charge. Let your bank know
that
you coming.
Or they will say no. Card declined.
Woo, that's a hard conversation.
Yes.
And you can go immediately and get the SIM card. But I would say pull it so you can have the dirhams out. And don't be like me. Have your conversion rater on your phone and know exactly, because they're going to ask you how many dirhams you want. And I was like, I don't know. So I'm sitting there at the ATM with the phone out, trying to scroll, trying to Google search. $100 is how much?
Yes. It's
have your conversion rater. Have your plan.
I would say make sure, talking about the SIM, make sure your phone is unlocked, because otherwise you just won't be able to use your phone, and that's it.
It's gone. But it's easy to get another phone. It is very easy to get a phone, and I think that sometimes we get worried about the quality and everything. The latest stuff is out here.
Definitely.
Like that is not hard to get the latest stuff. If you want to go bootleg, bootleg is out here as well.
Yes. I haven't experienced that yet, but I've heard that. But and I'm saying, when you come, bring your fire sticks with you.
Fire sticks already broken. If hypothetically you're going to do a fire stick, in case it's illegal, it should already be jailbroken, already ready to use. It should have already been used in the U.S. You can't do that over here.
Right. Because when you come, you may not necessarily already have your house that's Wi-Fi ready. Right. And you want to be able to have something to watch when you get here. So having my Fire Stick saved me tremendously, because I had Netflix on it, had the movies on it, had Amazon Prime on it. So just be prepared, like, you're going on a vacation to save over it.
Yeah, cool. So in hindsight, if you're thinking right now, what would you have put into your bag that you came out here and did not have? And I'll tell you mine real quick, is that I was so excited that I had a job. Like I had all professional clothes in.
Yes.
And like my first week, I only had one pair of jeans and like 2 t-shirts. And I didn't have any lounge wear.
Yeah.
And so I would say in hindsight, I would have made sure it was an equal balance in that. What about?
I would say one thing are my like teacher books and teacher resources that I can't find over here. Like different guides. Yes, you can get certain things online, but you can't buy different instructional books that you would use.
Teach like a champion.
Teach like a champion. You can't buy that here. You have to get it electronically. You know, you like to write
Leverage
cards and
leadership.
stuff.
Yeah.
Those type of things. I would have bought those with me.
And I would say even go back and just look at your whole collection and what's your top 5.
Yeah.
And just bring your top 5 because you need it.
Nice. I think for me, I wish I had packed, like I said, the sauces. And then I wish I had bought something like my Benadryl, my Neosporin, things like that, because they have things similar to it here. But sometimes if you're used to using a certain brand at home, you may have an allergic reaction to it because you haven't gotten used to the quality of the stuff here yet.
And that's it. Let me stop and say the stuff out here is quality.
It is.
It is quality.
It's just a different brand.
Baby, it is quality. There is so much stuff. And so I would say regarding that, know a pharmacist.
Yes.
Because you're not going to know what these things are. So
Right.
I take, my sister's a pharmacist, I take pictures of it, and then she can immediately tell me, oh, that's what this is, and that's what that is.
Right.
So it's easier if you
Right.
just know a pharmacist. Oh, and you download WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yes.
WhatsApp and Bottom, I think, are my top 2
Uh-huh.
apps. Because it's free to talk at home. Bottom is another video chat thing to say people at home as well.
And I think you can do, I forgot the one where it's like the face-to-face. I forgot that one.
Bottom is face to face.
Okay, there's one more I forget.
Yeah.
But
I can't think of that one now. I'm trying to think, but
no, I do it all the time, and I totally forgot. Like it just blows my mind. Whatever. So, but packing out here does not need to be like stress inducing. And I tell people all the time, I do think it's easier for you to just shut down your life because it's hard to live in the medium of both worlds. If you're trying to take care of a lot of stuff in the U.S. and then you're trying to get acclimated out here, it's just a difficult thing to do.
I would say that you're gonna forget something. Something's gonna go wrong. Just know that, you know, you're gonna be okay. Like, don't stress over it. Don't stress over the details so much. Just take a deep breath. We have most things here.
Yeah, like I think even if you got on this plane with just your passport and your
toothbrush.
PIN code, you can make it. I think the biggest thing that people don't realize is you need to have cash. You need to have money. You need to, if you're selling things, sell them cash. If you have people who are giving you gifts at going away parties and stuff like that, it sounds cruel, but I just want cash.
Right.
I just need the money. I don't need the gift. I don't need the extra teddy bear. I need, did you pay like $27 for that teddy bear? Give me the $27.
Yes.
The $27 can buy me a SIM card and maybe some minutes on my phone.
Exactly.
Like, that's what you're going to need in order to come out here.
And I think also, like you mentioned earlier, get on social media, join the Black educators in Dubai, because once you come, you have an instant family here. So that really, really helped when I came. Because I came, you know, with my niece. But when I came, I had an instant connection to the family members through the Facebook social media. It really, really helped me out. So you don't feel so alone when you come.
It's good.
They're gonna connect you to the different stores, where to go, where not to go. You know, make sure you don't get overcharged, X, Y, and Z. That type of thing.
And I will say, and this is a rumor, so anybody can tell me wrong, that Dubai, I feel like we're more spread out. Even though it's like we're smaller in circumference, your neighbor is not going to be right there to look at you or anything else. Like that. We're more spread out.
Yeah.
I have heard Abu Dhabi is not like that. I've heard that the network in Abu Dhabi is much more closer and tight-knit, so they can see those. But for us, and that's one reason why Black educators in Dubai does exist, because our first connection usually is on the social media, on Facebook, and that way, that's how we communicate with each other, that's how we talk, and we're not getting a WhatsApp group, because no. Because they go off all the time, and so that's the thing. But that part's important, and that was one of the reasons why this network has been created, for us to be able to do this. So
I agree.
I'm just gonna say thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in. I hope that this helped a lot. I think the biggest thing is if you're trying to pack and come, don't be stressed about it. Don't be stressed about it. Everything has an answer out here, and you just have to figure out how to find it. So until next time, this has been Jes'ka Washington bringing another Tea Talks for you. I've definitely enjoyed this. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and see you on the next episode.